Good morning. Welcome back to An All Seasons Homestead. I'm Joanna, and today I'm going to share with you a video of a project that we've been working on. We've been reorganizing and building shelves and painting our garden shed. It was very dysfunctional. It got to be a horrible mess through the summer. So I decided to start cleaning it out, and my husband built some shelves for me. And we've been working little by little just to get it functional and ready to put everything from the garden back inside to store for winter. So I'm excited to show you the progress that we've got done so far. So we're going to start right here with bringing stuff out of the garden shed. I have a lot of buckets of mixed matched items and tools everywhere. The ceiling insulation and wall insulation is just deteriorating and falling off. It looks disgusting and dirty. There's just no point of it being there anymore. Nothing really has its place. There's no hooks. That's why everything's just thrown on the floor as we use it. There are tools that need to be brought to the barn and put away correctly. There's just too many old pots and seed starting trays that I no longer need. I don't have a good spot for my bee frames either. And behind this dirty insulation is really nice metal, sheet metal. So I plan on just ripping all of that off. But first we have to get everything out of the garden shed. I'm basically just loading it up and putting it in the yard. And in the yard is where I will sort it out and see what I need to throw away. There was a lot of stuff to get rid of. It felt really, really good to get rid of all of it and just start all over. So as I'm taking stuff out, my son is hopefully very carefully taking that knife and ripping off some of the old insulation. So this took me 3 weeks. I just did little by little each day, just cleaning out. Look at all the stuff right there. That is a lot of junk. So it took us a while to rip all of the installation off, and there's still many little pieces that I need to take pliers to. My fingers just couldn't grip it quite well enough to rip it all off. There we had a wasp situation. Actually, there was only 2 paper wasps, so my son carefully caught them, and we released them out in a field, and they were quite angry. So we have most of that yucky insulation off. So now we started painting. And this was another long process, painting most of the beams and the shelving. And it was very hot this day. And there was no airflow in the garden shed. So my daughter and I worked pretty hard. It was very satisfying to get this job done, to make it look clean, but it was rather hot. Then I should have done this part first to give it a little pressure wash. So I finished 1 coat of paint, then decided to pressure wash. It didn't get as clean as I wanted to, but still looks much, much better. Right here, I'm starting to bring back the tools and the things that I know I want, to see where I want to hang them, to see what kind of hooks I need. So I started bringing in little by little. I had a pretty good idea by the time I got back to the hardware store. I was kind of nervous about finding the right kind of hook to hang up a weed eater, but this one worked rather well. Nice sturdy hook. right there. I still need to finish the painting. I ran out of paint, so I had to go back and get more. And now I know what kind of hooks I need, so I start putting little hooks all around the garden shed. I think I got these off of Amazon. I think they're 2-inch hooks. I bought a pack of 8, I think. I think I still need to get another pack because there's probably a few more tools that I'll need to hang later. And then I just tried various hooks for different kinds of tools, seeing what works. And also when I enter the right side of the garden shed, I want to be able to reach the tools that I use the most. This strange looking hook is a hose holder, and it's actually bendable. Works pretty well. And then I start taking all the tools that we no longer need. The construction's over, so I'm going to put the tools back in the barn. Start tidying up a little bit more. I had an old shelf. I no longer need that. Got the ladder out. Here I am going to start putting away some of my bee things. Actually, what I'm doing is seeing how they fit on the shelf, because I still need to paint the shelf at this point. So I'm seeing how I need to organize or what kind of totes that I need to buy. And everything fits pretty well. There I have a few more hooks. And right here, I'm putting 2 tiny hooks on this shelf, and I found an old rustic wire, and I strung it up, and I plan on hanging twine on this, maybe rolls of twine or dried herbs. I kind of like how it looks, actually. I need to buy some more twine to put on there for hanging up herbs or tying up tomatoes. And there we go. Just a little rustic wire. Then I'm going to start putting away some of my woven weed fabric. This fabric, I'm already done with it. I think I had my green beans. So I attempted to scrub the outside of the garden shed. You can see the north mold on the side. And my husband graciously helped me power pressure it because I was going to just do the whole thing with the scrub brush. And right here is the favorite part of my whole video. It is very satisfying seeing it go from so dirty to so clean. It almost looks like new metal. It's been sadly 8 years since we have cleaned the garden shed. And the garden shed is all dry and clean. Look at that shiny metal. New metal. Here we go. So now we have more than enough room to park the lawnmower and walk around on both sides. So this is a work in progress. This is not close to being done, but now at least we can get stuff in here and store it for the winter and not stress out that I can't walk in here and find stuff or put stuff away. So we ripped off. Tools I use the most are going to be right here to the right of the door. We have rakes and potato harvest tool, water cans, sunlight, clippers, little tools that don't really hang up, so I just have them here in a basket. I found these 3 peg racks at a thrift store for $1.50 each. So I just drilled those into the 2x4s to hang some tools on. I have a step stool. Here is our dirt sifter, our clippers, and then that's our apple picker, and I'm not sure what that tool is called, but it's to reach high limbs. Here are the shelves, all completed and painted. That top shelf is quite high. I'm gonna have to have a ladder to get up there, but that is basically for all of the woven weed fabric. That way it's easy to put up there and easy to get down because it's just lightweight, and when we get all the weed fabric out of the garden, we can roll it up and put it on that top shelf. I should have more than enough room for all my pots, terracotta pots. I can put my harvest baskets, stack them up, or even hang them on hooks. On the bottom, I have more of the dirty stuff, a bucket full of lime and fertilizer. That's my seed starting mix, a bucket of ash, a stack of buckets, pots, I guess, to start other things or move plants from here to there. Our gas tanks at the bottom for the tiller and the lawnmower. And then for now I have some of my seed starting trays on the middle shelf, and all of the stuff that I usually don't use too much of it all the time, but things like neem oil or fungicide, things like that. Then I also put this wire here for now. I just had this rustic looking wire, so I thought I could use it for twine or maybe dry some extra herbs. In this basket, I have things like, let's see, blueberry fertilizer, sulfur, let's see, more blueberry, just little fertilizer bags. I have some marigold seeds in there. This little bucket I'm going to use for all my tomato clips. This bucket is going to be for the woven weed fabric stakes. Here are some seed starting pots. I have a few stacks of them. I threw most of them away during our cleaning out process. In this bucket right here, I just have some zip ties and extra twine. We use those for tomato trellises mainly. This little bucket is just going to be for hooks and maybe some lighters. And I'm going to put all of our harvest baskets right here when I'm done with them. And then over to the left wall, I have a couple of totes of bee frames. I have a couple of baskets on the top of bee frames. I probably should get some totes for those. That tote at the top has my bee hat and gloves. And then I have a bucket, just a simple bucket with some of my bee supplies with a handle so I can just take it down to the hives easily. And my smoker, because I don't like to store my smoker inside of anything. I just want to leave it out. And got my honey deeps and a few extra supers. And then over on this wall, I got those hooks off of Amazon for hose storage. I've never seen anything like them. I'm not sure if I really like them yet, but they're bendable, and so far they're working okay. We got our tiller with a flat tire right underneath it, and then I have the weed eater on this wall, and oops, there's the sun. There's the string. So now we should be able just to come right into the garden shed, get the weed eater, or the weed eater out, the tiller out, put our hoses away, be able to get our gas tanks easier. But there's a little more work to do. There's a little bit more painting, and I can add hooks as I need them for more tools. But I'm quite happy with it. I feel better knowing that I can just get in here and find my stuff easier. I hope you all enjoyed this video as I cleaned and organized. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.